Again, we're doing beers here, and this always makes it a fun thing. We've been doing this for the last 6 or 7 conferences, and I was thinking if we're doing that, why not take it a step further and make a drinking game out of this? So I'm introducing for the first time the B.I. Kelsey demo drinking game. And essentially, as drinking games go, the rules are pretty simple. I was brainstorming some typical words and cliches earlier that you can drink when they're said. So these are the ones we're going with. And this list will probably evolve over time, but end to end, long tail, solutions, just the word solutions, best of breed, purchase funnel, or customer journey. You hear any of those, drink. So we're going to get started. We're going to start with fuel rewards. Both Megan and Greg are going to walk you through their actual app. This is a live app demo via AirPlay. Ray, if you guys can push the demo to the main screen. Megan, you can go right ahead.
Okay, great. Thank you. I'm Megan Flynn with the Fuel Rewards Network. We are locally based here in Dallas, and we provide a loyalty coalition program that features a cents per gallon rollback at the pump. And Shell is our distribution partner. They have a nationwide presence. We recently launched a new mobile app in both Apple and Android stores so that we could go ahead and we could make all the different earning opportunities available that we bring to the coalition available, on the go in a mobile smartphone. So we provided that solution, drink, and we now needed to make sure that when we provided that solution, we had a way to sort and organize all of the different opportunities for the consumers. So this is the new app. It recently launched. You'll see that there's a variety of different ways that you can look at different earn categories. We're going to focus for a second here on the dining program. This is all location-based services, so it knows where I am. It's serving me up meaningful local content. There's 11,000 different restaurants that are right now accessible through this phone. And we want to make sure that you don't have to sort through Dallas, Texas, and specifically even just in this gallery of Weston to find out where the restaurants are closest. So I can scroll through. I can find a variety of different participating restaurants. These are all available where members can go and they can earn cashback savings, and those savings are actually realized by a rollback at the pump. So the price of the pump, and Greg will take you through that, rolls back because of all of the earn that I've realized at these different spend categories. So this is Dallas. You guys might be in from out of town. You might be interested in some Mexican food. El Phoenix is a Mexican restaurant on the program. You'll see that I know that I can earn 10 cents per gallon for every $50 that I spend within the program. So I can spend it all 50 at El Phoenix. I can spend it at a variety of different restaurants. We aggregate all the spend together. The 10 cents will roll back at the pump. We can go ahead and we can serve you up some specific localized information about the participating restaurants. You'll see where the restaurant is located. You can get driving directions. There's a variety of different functionalities and features that are provided to so that end-to-end access, is made available to the consumers. But in order for you to really actually earn your cents per gallon rollback at the pump, the way that we identify that our members are actually dining at the restaurants is that we track their payment cards. They provided us with permission to say, hey, I want it to be discreet. I want it to be easy to use. Just go ahead when I use and I pay with my registered card in one of your participating merchants, it's automatically going to contribute towards my membership. So I'm going to go ahead and link a card, and we can actually just scan the card. Let's see if this will work. And I haven't been drinking, but my hand is shaking. There we go. So I just saved the card to my account, actually to Greg's account. So now anytime that card is used at this restaurant or any of the other 11,000 restaurants in the program, we're automatically going to be able to collect all of that spend, turn it into that cents per gallon reward that's redeemable at the Shell fuel stations. And now Greg Phillips, who is our SVP of CRM and Business Intelligence, he's going to walk you through that aspect of the program.
Thank you, Megan. As you can see, to maximize our customer experience, we really tried to make it as easy as possible. And the only reason I said customer experience is because I wanted you guys to take a drink because you're kind of getting a little dead out there. So let's pick it up. Let's start drinking a little bit. I will. You guys keep track of how many. Trust me. I've got a no speaking and drinking rule, but quickly after I'm done, we'll jump in there. So I can finish this out by putting my zip code in there and agreeing to terms and conditions and saving that out, and you'll see that that's now associated with my account. Like Megan said, the cool thing is you only have to associate your credit card one time. Okay, and the dynamic content she showed you earlier let me know that I had not done that yet. And I could link that card right from that individual offer. So what we're going to do is we're just going to kind of quickly close the loop here. Megan showed you how you can actually go out and earn and promoting kind of our local partners that are our network. To close that loop, what you do is after you earn rewards, you actually go and redeem those for fuel. That's kind of the uniqueness of our loyalty program. So if I come to kind of back to the home page of the app, there's several different avenues I can go to find the nearest fueling station. I'm going to tap on this top, what we call t-shirt tag, and it drops down what's called my virtual loyalty card, okay? So one of the cool things about the app is we really want to get to where our customers don't have to carry around loyalty plastic anymore. Now, we still have those plastic cards that you can use at the pump to ID you when you show up, but you can also use a number, okay?
These are optional.
Oh, there we go.
These are optional.
I'm almost done, so then I'll be able to jump in there. So.
And one non-alcoholic if anyone's inclined.
On my virtual loyalty card here, you can see there's a 10-digit number, and I can actually put that 10-digit number in right when I go to the pump. It'll recognize me. It'll say you're Greg Phillips, and it'll actually take 50 cents off per gallon my price of fuel. Okay, on the bottom of this page, you can see the app has identified the closest participating Shell station. It shows me what the street price for fuel is. It's $2.30, and that's actually right around the corner here. My price is going to be $1.80. Okay, so pretty cool. When was the last time anybody in the room paid $1.80 for gas? That's pretty cool, huh? Okay. Then in the middle, you kind of see a universal sign that should look familiar for location. I can tap on that. And that actually takes me just to the map, shows me where that location is. I can actually go into that station and get a little more detail on that. There's the actual station. I can hit driving directions. And it'll actually bounce over to kind of the native app function, or the native mapping functionality of my app. I can choose to drive there from my current location, hit my route, and off I go. Okay? And like I said, once I get to the pump, I can just pull that up, get my 10-digit number, and I'm ready to roll my price back at the pump. So that's it. Pretty cool stuff. Megan and I will be around drinking beers after if you guys would like to chat with us. And I've got kind of a handful of promotional cards for those of you guys in the room that want to save 25 cents a gallon. Okay? Come see me.
Thanks, Greg. So a few questions before we move on to the next group of speakers. So card-linked offers is something that we've been very bullish on for a while, in that the redemption happens in the background, as you showed. So it really takes some of those points of friction. And then some of the challenges usually onboarding users is great because I notice you have that card IO integration. Are you also thinking about working with Apple Pay for Touch ID support or anything like that to onboard users in a way that's even more seamless than what you've already done?
Absolutely. We're constantly looking at the marketplace. We want to be in keeping with all of the developments. We want to be leading some of them. We actually have our own branded card, which Greg had actually used. It's a co-branded card, the Fuel Rewards MasterCard, and that's going to be participating in the Apple Pay network. So when that card is used for purchases that accept Apple Pay, Shell is a member of MCX, so we continue to go ahead and work very closely with them. And the real vision for right now is that we want to eliminate that separate identifier at the pump for redemption, and the payment card that's used on the earn side of the equation, let that be the identifier. And if that's a swipe at the pump, or eventually we all think it's going to mobile payment, we'll go ahead and we'll be there in lockstep with the marketplace.
Now, I may have missed this when I was gathering some beers over here, but now so we just talked about the onboarding on the user acquisition end. On the merchant acquisition end and creating that network effect of having participating stations and brands and things like that, what are you doing to build that? Yeah,
we have a dedicated Department of Business Development group that is meeting outside with national and large regional retailers. And then we also have a pilot that we will be launching in market in May of this year for small medium business. So the Fuel Rewards program, we've talked a little bit about the payment cards. One of the founding or cornerstone aspects of the program are grocer relationships.
Yeah.
So we really want to go ahead and easily lower the cost of everyday life for consumers in the U.S., and that's by just making all different types of category purchases available, participating in the network. So we'll be working with some ISOs to go ahead and represent and include the Fuel Rewards solution as part of their bag of tools. Mm-hmm. And we're also working with a variety of other, we're going to be testing a variety of other prospecting and onboarding relationships as well. Outbound telemarketing, a bunch of
I tell you that fuel as the carrot and as the reward really makes sense to me, because in terms of other things that have been used as rewards in the past, whether it be Starbucks cards or even cash back, it seems like fuel is something that really resonates with people that are just obsessed with fuel prices and getting them down by sometimes even pennies.
Yeah, it is crazy, irrational. People get so excited about the amount that it rolls back at the pump. And you saw Greg's account, he's realized 50 cents towards his next fill up. And that the average member in our program saves 34 cents per gallon when they go and they swipe their card. So lots of research has been done, and we really like it's almost a tangible currency because of the aspect of identifying yourself at the pump. It's not automatically going into your account. You have to ask for it. And people, it really just resonates really well.
Yeah, seems so. Well, you guys will stay with us on stage, and you mentioned you'll be around later for anyone else interested in engaging with these guys soon. So Jeremiah, I think we have you going next. We were going to have you not next, but it looks like you're teed up here, so you can navigate that from the podium over there. Or actually, I'm sorry, I think Ray's going to do that for you, so you can just start talking and we'll...
And it's the next video, but not this one. So we're Log My Calls, been in business since 2001, and we did announce today that we just acquired the media and publishing business from CallSource. So if you're familiar with the space, CallSource has been around for 25 years, and we're excited about the opportunity to work with those customers, bring them in-house, and really take them from the call tracking world that they're used to and start sharing this conversation analytics piece, the ability for us to listen to the call and give them data on the quality of the lead, what happened, what was said, and of course, if it's a missed opportunity, to be able to deal with that. Historically, it's been 30 seconds, 60 seconds, 90 seconds. That's how you knew if the call was a qualified lead. That's all you could base it on. Was it a 60-second call? Yes, it's qualified. You'd get credit for that. Today, with our system, the software is listening to the call and able to say, it is a qualified lead because we heard language that said, I'm looking for this. And so we're able to show you that. So we're going to show you a quick video right now that will demonstrate that better than I can explain it.
Hi, thanks for calling Beaverton Tire. This is John. How can I help you?
Hi, I'm interested in getting some pricing for some new tires.
Fantastic. Can I get your name?
Sure, my name is Michelle.
Great, Michelle. What kind of car do you have?
It's a 2009 Jeep Wrangler. I'm thinking of replacing all 4 tires.
Perfect. Are you looking for economy or performance? The economy tires are less expensive, but the performance tires last longer.
I'm interested in a performance tire for the better warranty.
Great. In your size, we have a tire with a 60,000-mile warranty for $160 per tire, or a nice riding tire with a 75,000 warranty for $180.
Okay. I usually get the tires with the best warranty.
Good choice. When are you looking to replace your tires?
I'd like to get new tires this week.
Can I set up a time for you to come down and get some tires?
Actually, I'm just price shopping, but thanks.
Michelle, I can offer you 25% off if you come in today. Want to come in?
You know, that would make a difference. Can I set an appointment for 3?
That works for us. I've got you down for an appointment at 3 o'clock today. Can I get your email address and I'll send a confirmation?
Sure. My email address is michelle78@funmail.com.
Great. See you today at 3.
That's it. That's what we do. So the first question people ask when they see that often is it real? Can you really do that? Is it accurate? And the answer is yes, it is. And in addition to that, what we're doing essentially is instead of If you want to know the quality of a lead, you use our routing, and we take that call and spit back to you through API or however you want to get it, the data that says, yes, this lead was qualified, and here's 42 other things that we heard on the call that would be of value to you. You can automate that, push data into your CRM, send out emails, drive marketing campaigns with the information from this. So, what questions?
Yeah, a few questions. Actually, I have a million questions. This is really interesting. I think it demonstrates well your term of conversation analytics. I like the way you put that because in a long time in call tracking, it's been rather binary. Did a call happen, and duration even, some of these things that are really proxies for lead scoring, but doing it on a kind of conversation analytic basis is very interesting. Now, the way that this lead scoring is happening based on just kind of different keywords, is that set by the advertiser that is looking for certain things like transmission or tires, or is it industry benchmarks that you will put in place depending on who the advertiser happens to be?
So the question you're asking is this specific to the industry or the company, or is it generalized? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, and how is when the words tires are said and it lights up, is that defined by the advertiser telling you we want that type of lead, or? Yes. Yeah,
the 42 things that we're looking for are fairly standard. I'd like to schedule an appointment or whatever the case may be, and they may add tire in there. It's irrelevant to us. Now, that being said, we do customize it for the industry. So we can go right in and say, there's going to be, a hotel, of course, is going to say, can I schedule a reservation? Whereas the tire shop may say, would you like to come in? So we are going to adjust it for that. But we've actually built the algorithms to handle the different industries and to be able to handle a wide range. For example, you all know that if you talk into your iPhone, Siri is not always going to get it right.
Yep.
But we anticipate that. So if we actually get a consistent pattern of something heard incorrectly, we put that in the algorithm. So we're constantly improving the math on this so we can capture it per industry as well.
That's the great thing about call analytics. It learns over time.
That's right.
And the opportunity only grows when that underlying technology grows.
Every month we're getting further ahead of our competition.
That's great. Now, who is your typical end user? Is it kind of a CMO or someone in the marketing department or an agency or a small business advertiser? And then what does the reporting look like that they're getting? How are they best using you?
As we've developed it, we started with across the board, the big, the small, we did it all. But really our focus has come into the agency and the enterprise. The large company, for example, Reach Local, which is somebody we acquired from CallSource, is a great fit for what we're doing, and we're definitely going to be talking to them more about how to use conversation analytics in that. So somebody who is covering the agency, of course, and an enterprise like a Bell Tire or Big O Tire, these are companies that perfect fit for what we're talking about here. They're national brands with a local presence. They are using this technology for that as well.
And this overall opportunity, I should plug some BIA Kelsey data to even support what you're saying and your market opportunity is we see that based on mobile search that's growing so much with smartphone penetration, we project 72 billion calls to be sent to small businesses or businesses of all sizes, from mobile search alone. And then these are businesses that really want the phone to ring in high value verticals. You mentioned autos, there's travel and insurance and others that really want phone leads. Yeah, health is a big one,
Yeah, and 14 years ago when I started the company, I specifically remember people saying the phone is dying, it's all going to be on the web. And it was a concern at the time because I was very focused on what is happening on that phone call is very important information. There's hundreds of words and phrases being stated in just a few minutes, whereas you only get one or two words on a click to drive from marketing. So I knew that there was value there, but phones were going away. And of course today we see that it's only growing, especially with mobile. People are going to look up the ad, they're going to call, and we're going to capture it. And it's dead air. You don't know what happens after they press the button.
Yep.
Now we know, and we're going to fill that gap.
So one last question before we move on. I always see this as this opportunity as having two different levels. One being ROI assessment and lead scoring, as we said, but also that's in a marketing bucket, but in an operational bucket. Call centers, others that really want to run a tighter ship in terms of call routing, making sure the best leads go to the best reps and stuff like that, or even training. Are you kind of applying this technology towards any of those kind of operational efficiencies?
Well, you're speaking to our roots. So that's how the company started. We were a training company focused on the performance and the operational aspects. And over time, as we got better at the details of what was happening on the call and automating it, it just made sense to move into marketing. There's so much need and so much value there. So while that is certainly something that clients use it for, our focus has been the marketing piece.
Yeah, that's interesting. So I have a lot of questions on the synergies with CallSource, but we'll save those till tomorrow because you'll be on stage then.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you'll be around during the reception in case other people want to, and the rest of the week. You have a booth here, don't you?
No, we don't.
Okay,
Nope.
sorry.
But there's 4 of us, and
Yeah,
here
yeah.
we are. So.
It's a moving booth. He's got a moving booth. Okay, well, great. So Gary, I believe we're going to you next. Okay.
You want this?
Okay, yeah, now you can hear me. Okay, terrific. Thanks so much. That was great, Jeremiah, and all the stuff that's going on today. So as I get started here, okay, we're up on the screen, great. So my job was made pretty easy today because a couple of people have already mentioned my competitors in the space. You heard about Sapio and Ballyhoo, they're direct competitors. And then we just heard from Grant at Dallas News, which just recently bought Distribuon. So we are a marketing technology platform, and we help large brands manage and execute at the local level through their channel partners. Friends with the CallSource folks for many, many years. We have a very unique platform in that we integrate many folks like yourselves in the room into our actual technology platform. So we're bringing best of breed technology point solutions to our actual brands so that they can execute at the local level using our co-op funds management technology to do co-pay on individual marketing tactics. So we have self-service component built into our system as well as automated marketing. So think of us in terms of automated marketing at the local level through the channel. When you think of Marketo or Eloqua at the enterprise level, think of us as sitting one level below that. And from the email output side, we have ExactTarget integrated through our solution as well. So we're going to talk a little bit more about that in a moment. So what I have up for you today is Dish Networks, who we're going to be managing basically millions and millions of their co-op dollars for executing at the local level through their partners of about 3,400 tier 1 distributors and retailers around the country. The 4 things that really set us apart is managing the money, providing the marketing automation or the self-service component, the integration of best-in-breed technology partners. We refer to them as our marketing service partners, with the ability to bring different ones in and out of our platform when a brand wants to actually build their own ecosystem, and then the ability to consolidate all that reporting back up to the brand. So it becomes a one-point solution that really allows you to have that best technology and then also get the business intelligence that you've been lacking from disparate systems out in the marketplace. So I'm going to jump in and explain to you the homepage that you see here is all customizable at the brand level. It can be gated by different groups that are coming into the system, different geographies. If you're going to be going internationally as well, you can have all that gated in terms of what the user experience is based on those groups, as well as different assets and marketing programs that are going to be made available to those specific groups. So the brand has access to build out the whole site. Here we actually have the ability to see all of the upcoming co-op or MDF funds that are available at the individual retailer level. And I'm clicking in here and just showing you very quickly that I have a bunch of co-op ready to go. This was one co-op monthly amount that's already been debited down. I'm going to go back out to the home page. We also have live chat, email, and phone support. So we're actually supporting those local SMBs on behalf of the brand. On the left side is the navigational side, and I'm going to just jump really quickly into the catalog. In the catalog, you'll see that you can actually order call tracking right here through the solution, or you can do it actually within the order itself. So while we're going to execute a print ad, while we're going to do a TV or a radio buy, we can actually execute the call tracking number in real time. You have various types of modules. So a brand usually starts with us on a unique pain point, and then they wind up growing into different types of modules or marketing programs that they need. So it's a very easy type of transition to get them up and running, where they're usually replacing 1 or 2 pain points initially and then growing into the platform. I'm going to jump into a print ad. Once the user understands the topology of one particular module, it's pretty self-explanatory to go into the remainder. So you can see here, all of the folder setup is actually the vernacular that's created by the brand. And we have a tagging system, so it makes it very, very simple because you can have multiple tags associated with different assets or different types of campaigns. So very easy to actually find the ad that you're looking for. I'm going to go in and grab an Arabic print ad. Dish likes to put a lot of information about what's going on with this particular type of product. I could have enlarged this to get a bigger view. I'm going to just swim through pretty quickly because we have a lot to cover here. We also have what's called a flexing technology. Because you have so many different sizes with print ads that are out in the market, you're not going to get any distortion in the output of the ad. It's actually going to resize the imagery as well as character count and font sizing in real time. I'm going to grab my profile, which is information that will be used across different types of marketing programs or tactics. And by the way, many of these types of programs, we wind up doing enrollment on behalf of the actual SMB. I can go in and set up a new number in real time, choose a local number, put my number in. Continue on. And what did I not choose? Regardless. I'm not actually going through the component of the call track. I'm just going to choose a number because I'm in somebody's real account. And now I'm going to go up and preview the template. So this is actually going through the composition engine in the background. I have my proof. Can check everything. I could download a low-res proof at an asset level. The brand can actually dictate if they want a high-res or low-res download availability. I'm going to sign off as the user. And for this particular ad, I'm actually also putting in for a media buy. Not my computer, so sorry. And here they have the option to have us negotiate the rate on their behalf or not. Put in desired insertion date, end date. Whatever information I want to put in. And I'm also going to insert my media budget, which will actually be then reserved once I place that order in my co-op area. So that will not be taken for any other program, so they can't overcommit the co-op dollars that are being allocated to them. In addition, for certain types of programs, there may be times when we're going to actually have our local marketing assistant reach out and speak to them. That's an optional step within the actual ordering process. And now, at the sign out of the page, what's really important here is you're able to see the co-op that's going to be reserved and used. I also have what's called a closed-loop proofing system in here. So if you as an agency are doing this on behalf of the franchises or the locations or the independent SMBs, because we work across all those various types of channel partners, you can use this as a closed-loop proofing process, which will send that order summary as well as the proof right to that SMB. They approve it or decline it. If they decline it, it comes back to the person that actually originated the order on their behalf. So I am not going to go through and submit the order. There also is a secondary approval process at the corporate level. So now the same thing can happen for customized websites, for different types of marketing programs. I'll show you that very briefly. So here we have the ability to enroll in basic listing and reputation management product grouped together, maybe just a straight local listings package, a custom website product, the ability to jump into and buy a DLD product. Again, you're going through an enrollment process, and I think you'll get the idea. I'm not going to go through the whole enrollment here. However, once I do enroll and I'm actually have the final web page approved, my website will be spawned, and this will be with the customized information from that individual retailer that just signed up. In addition to that, I have the ability on those forms to actually have a web form builder where we're actually taking in lead generation information and then putting that right into our data-triggered program. So we're going to have immediate follow-up for lead nurturing campaigns, any type of follow-up communications, whether it's going to be a combination of print or email, all based on different triggers that are preset by the brand. And once a user is actually enrolled in our data-triggered programs, the brand can continuously add touch points to those programs. So I never have to get that SMB to actually log back in to the program and enroll. They'll just go out on their behalf. They'll also be sent a proof prior to each one of those touch points going out. So for that particular message, if they don't want them going out, they can actually decline the delivery of that particular message. In addition to that, we have Bird Eye actually integrated here from reputation management. So the feed is coming right up into the actual website, as well as an email alert that will go right out to the individual retailer, telling them that a review is just posted, as well as if a lead came in, an email will go out to them as well for follow-up directly to that actual consumer in real time. So here's the email that came in. Basically just examples of the DLD product. And then subscription reporting based on what's going on with the activity on the website and all the programs that they're actually enrolled in. What's happening, from an analytical standpoint, where their clicks are coming from, how their keywords are doing out in the marketplace. So that gives you a pretty good idea of the resulting information that you're going to get. Just about ready to close up. In addition to that, you'll get your call tracking and all your reporting served right back up through the actual application. And then we can go into performance-based reporting there as well. And then lastly, just to kind of give you another idea, this is for Health Mart, which is owned by McKesson, 3,400 retail locations, Tier 1, another close to 7,000 behind the scenes. But this just gives you an idea of the ability for the brand to actually control what the site looks like and all the different types of tactics that they actually want to offer out to their community. So in closing, really just think of us as a way to aggregate best-in-breed types of solutions and give you the ability to get the business intelligence at the brand level as well as the agency level and really execute by using all those available co-op or MDF dollars, which really drives engagement and enrollment into these programs where we normally see programs that we run anywhere from 50, 60, 70% engagement opportunities. So utilizing those co-op dollars and being able to do it on behalf of these locations is the real key that gets engagement and gets the brand to have control of the messaging at the local level.
Thanks, Gary. And that's a large opportunity, obviously, with all those co-op dollars to play with and a very robust platform. So we'll save questions for offline to give Jason plenty of time for his presentation. So Jason, why don't you launch right into it? Yeah, if you overlay, there you go. Mouse over the bottom. I think you're in Chrome.
Were you in Firefox? I just hit the Explorer right there. Yeah.
What you set up before, I think, was in Chrome. Try that. There should be a few.
Oh, you were right there. Go back to Chrome.
Go back and do that again, the one on the right.
And the one on the right. Click
Yep, there you go. That one on the right.
No. There, right there.
Yep, there you are.
All right. I promise to be brief. I know you've probably had 2 or 3 beers by now and the bathroom's calling your name, so we'll just go through the Cliff Notes version. So Social Incentive, what is it? We are a SaaS platform or web-based application that allows you to set up intent-based marketing campaigns using Twitter. So you've heard other speakers today talk about purchase intent, and that's what we're helping our advertisers, our clients, or agencies on behalf of their clients be able to go out there and identify. So there are about 500 to 600 million tweets a day. And the 2 most common expressions on Twitter are I want and I need. And so we're trying to help people figure out what exactly consumers are wanting. It could be food, it could be a massage, it could be a vacation, it could be a cup of coffee. And our platform will allow you to be able to go out there and look for those keywords and geo-target those to make sure that they're not only contextually appropriate for engagement, but that they're geographically relevant. To use our software, and I'm not going to take you through the full-blown campaign because you're welcome to stop by our booth and get a full-blown demo. But I want you to know that you can literally have a campaign up in our software in about 5 minutes. All we need to know is what are the keywords you want to look at, what are the the geographic boundaries or filters that you want to use, what language, English, Spanish, and then where do you want to drive consumers? Do you have existing digital assets where you just drop a link in there? If so, then you would say simply share a link to your website. Or if you want to create a landing page and an automation drip using our software, you can certainly do that as well. The goal is that we want to find someone who's saying, I want pizza. And the moment they do, on behalf of that brand, maybe it's Papa John's or someone we could say, hey, sounds like you should order some Papa John's. Click here and get 50% off your online order. At that moment, they'll be taken to a landing page that will allow them to make that purchase. Just to kind of give you a real quick glimpse into what that looks like from a consumer's perspective, one of our clients is Ticketmaster, and we're currently working on a campaign today for the Dallas Stars. And so anyone that's out there saying go Stars, and there's not very many this year based on the season that they're having, but if they were, we could go out there and promote whatever games they have. Right now we're doing Calgary, I think, for next week. This is a great tool for them to be able to go out there and have a fire sale. So Monday and Tuesdays are really difficult for them to move inventory. Partly because it's a school night, early in the week. And so here we'll be able to take a consumer that's saying something that's relevant to the Stars and drive them straight to this landing page. And I think we had about $5,000 in transactions just today alone. So you can see the value in being able to identify someone who's expressing purchase intent real time and then driving them to a call to action landing page or e-commerce engine. Once we've gone in and we've set up whatever we want to do to drive consumers to a specific site, then the next step is just to add our keywords. There's two things that make our platform really unique. And again, I encourage you to come by the booth and get a full demo. But one is we have a machine learning algorithm that works very similar to Pandora's thumbs up and thumbs down feature. So as you go out there and you start to engage with people using our platform, it will learn based on the conversations that you deem as relevant when you respond and the ones you discard as not relevant. And so eventually it starts to optimize your data stream so that you're spending more time responding and talking to consumers than sifting through irrelevant data. The other thing that makes our product very unique is that if you've ever tried to use Twitter search in the past, you know that if you were to say, I want anyone that's craving pizza or that's interested in the Dallas Stars or wants to go to Cancun in Dallas, it'll only pull profiles that are set specifically to Dallas. We'll help you programmatically draw a radius around that, whether it's 10, 15, 25 miles radius, and pull in Highland Park, Park Cities, University Park, Lake Highlands, Bishop Arts, including common misspellings and slang terminology. And so that's important because, again, we want to try and drive as many potential leads into your marketing funnel as possible so that we can nurture them from a potential customer or prospect into an actual transaction. Now, to give you a little context on how successful this can work, if you were in New Orleans, you heard our case study with Papa John's. Last summer, we did a campaign for them, our first corporate one during 3 months, where we were able to go out and respond to 5,100 consumers from May to the end of July, which are historically their 3 worst months of the year. During that time period, that 5,100 consumers ended up generating 32,000 orders online, $500,000 in revenue, and the cost per acquisition was 86 cents. So not only are we able to go out there and drive a consumer real time to a relevant call to action, but there's a compounding effect that takes place because of the virality of Twitter. The other reason that we focus on Twitter is that there's no privacy concerns. We've been around since 2008. In the early days when we were still in beta, we used the open API to Facebook, and we spent more time explaining to people how they had to adjust their privacy settings than making a transaction. On Twitter, if you're a private person, you're probably not on Twitter. And so when somebody says something and then a brand or a product that they're familiar with responds and has a relevant offer or call to action or perhaps content to educate them on a subject, it's a welcome reception. So again, I encourage you to come by our booth, see one of our team members over there. They'll be happy to walk you through all the steps in setting up our software. If you look at it and say, this is great technology, but I really don't see that I'm going to have the time or desire to do that, then we have an entire team in downtown Dallas that will go out there and perform the work for you. We work with a number of brands, everyone from the New York Yankees to Ticketmaster to the Stars to Southwest Airlines, you name it. And we're always looking for purchase intent on behalf of those brands. Questions?
Thanks, Jason. Sure. And you're right. I find that there's a lot more receptivity in Twitter as opposed to Facebook, which a lot of people see as sacred territory. Anything related to needs, intent, as you characterized, I think the opportunity is a lot greater in Twitter than a lot of other social domains. Now, this looks like a great tool for customer acquisition to really get in front of people, like you said, where that intent really happens, and it's very explicit. It seems like equally the technology could be used towards reputation monitoring, sniffing for those same keywords about after a sale. Are you also doing that?
Yeah, I've seen a lot of brands do some things that are really neat. One particular is listening to someone. So think again, sticking with Papa John's. Mm-hmm. If someone had a bad experience and they go, I ordered my pizza an hour ago, Domino's, WTF, ? We can interject and say, sorry you're having a bad experience. Next time, try Papa John's. We'll even give you half off your order. And so we see a lot of that. Ashley Furniture is listening for people checking in at Rooms to Go or Haverty's, IKEA, and they're saying, hey, before you make your purchase, come visit our showroom. You could save up to 50%. So competitive mentions is something they definitely are looking at, and especially when there's reputation concerns around the competition.
Yeah. Well, we heard earlier that happens a lot within cable, and I can believe it.
Yeah, especially when it rains.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, well, let's end it there. We're a little bit over time. Thank you each for demoing for us. Please join me in thanking this panel. So we're now going to go to a reception that's sponsored by UBL, and that goes until 7 p.m. And then tomorrow morning we're back in here at 8, but before that, 8:30. Before that, starting at 7:30, there's a continental breakfast sponsored by Infogroup. So thanks for sticking with us till the end.